I think Etsy is uniquely positioned to benefit from AI. Finding that needle in the haystack is tricky. That's part of what makes Etsy both delightful and frustrating to people. And being able to serve the good stuff to the top fastest is where AI can really benefit us.
Our mission is keeping commerce human, and actually we talk about AI as helping us to be superhuman. It's really the partnership between AI and humans that makes Etsy work.
AI can help Etsy's customers personalize their searches and steer shoppers more directly to items they may want to buy. It's also helped the company improve reliability by predicting delivery times more precisely. But that doesn't solve a larger challenge, getting more consumers to think of Etsy more often and ultimately become repeat buyers. To this end, Etsy invented gift mode.
Getting in the top of mind consideration when you're thinking, I have a gift, I'm going to go to Etsy, just getting that to be more habitual. Gift mode provides a perfect opportunity for that. We get to know the gifter, but we also get to know the recipient. So it's a way to, sort of a more viral way to bring in more, introduce more people to Etsy.
Etsy introduced gift mode with a flourish, rolling it out to an audience of millions.
That's a really good gift.
Now we gotta get France something.
Wait, we could use Etsy's new gift mode.
Plateau de fromage! Ooh la la!
Don't panic. Gift easy with gift mode. New on Etsy.
You, took a big, bold, fast bet this year and went for a Super Bowl ad. How much is marketing part of the process? How important is that as a cost base?
Yeah, I love marketing. I was told by another CEO that I work for that I'm the most growth-oriented CFO that he had ever worked with, because I'm a big believer in spending that money to increase brand awareness. The big bet on the Super Bowl ad was never intended to be an ROI positive investment. It was really intended to be a launch of a new initiative, a product. We've said a lot of times that it was a kickoff, not the mic drop.
Multiple gift occasions each year give shoppers multiple reasons to visit Etsy. Another strategy to turn them into buyers, get them on the Etsy app.
We really think there's a huge opportunity there because the conversion rate is so much higher, and we have so much of our habitual buyers. Those are buyers that come 6 or more times a year or spend $200 or more a year. We have more of them coming from the app because once you've got the app, you're a little bit more skin in the game, and you find your way to great product more easily.
But while Etsy takes steps to raise its own game, it faces external threats as well. E-commerce sites like Temu and Shein have come on the scene, offering mass-produced lookalike items at lower prices.
These are Asian companies that have entered the U.S. market, and they have seen a lot of growth. Temu was launched in 2022, and in a matter of a year, they got 15 billion or so in GMV or total sales. That is a dramatic rise for a company. To a consumer, maybe when I'm looking at my budget, Temu is more attractive just because of price, and that's really all there is.
If I had to pick the opposite of Etsy, it would be Temu. It's hard for me to think of anything more different. They stand for commoditized commerce. They stand for things that are just cheap and don't mean anything to you. And there's a role for that in life. You know, people need things that are really cheap.
We are not trying to compete on price, that everything can be $1 less expensive or can get to you 2 days faster. That's not our value proposition. Our value proposition is special, unique, customizable.
Etsy has backed up that proposition with policy updates that more sharply define its standards and ensure that sellers fulfill its handmade promise.
On one end of the spectrum, you've got things that are very clearly Etsy. They're handmade or they're vintage, and you can, with your eyes closed, you can say, yes, that belongs on Etsy. And on the other end of the spectrum, you can say, this clearly does not belong on Etsy. But the stuff on that end of the spectrum that's very violative, that does not belong on Etsy, we have really invested and leaned our shoulder into bringing that amount of content off the site.
The more commoditized commerce succeeds, and that might be Amazon or Walmart or Temu, but the more that succeeds, the more people will crave an alternative to that. And no one is better positioned than Etsy to be the alternative to that.